For more, we cross live to Moscow to Giles Gibson. Giles, thank you so much for your time. A chilling statement from Foreign Affairs Minister Sergei Lavrov. What prompted him to talk about World War III and nuclear?
That's right, some really extraordinary comments from Sergei Lavrov talking about World War III. Of course, earlier in the week we heard from President Putin himself appearing on state TV here in Russia with his defense minister and issuing this order on television here in Russia for the country's nuclear deterrent to be put on high alert. At the same time as issuing these pretty strong statements, this aggressive rhetoric from top Russian officials all the way up to Vladimir Putin. Of course, the Russians are also saying that they are open to holding talks with the Ukrainians. There were talks on Monday that wrapped up after several hours without any major breakthroughs, and we are now expecting another round of talks to come in the next 12 hours or so.
Has there been any response, though, from the Ukraine following this statement?
I didn't catch that question there, but what we're hearing about the Russian delegation is that we've heard from the head of that delegation saying that these talks will be beginning on Thursday morning local time in Belarus, where they are taking place right on the border between Ukraine and Belarus. We're not exactly sure of the exact location there. We're also hearing from the Russian delegation that a ceasefire, a potential ceasefire, is going to be discussed between Ukrainian and Russian officials. So that will be on the table for these discussions. What we've heard from President Volodymyr Zelensky of Ukraine in the build-up to this second round of talks is that he wants to see this shelling, the bombardment of cities all across Ukraine, including the capital Kiev and the second largest city Kharkiv. He wants to see that completely stop before what he called meaningful talks could go ahead.
All right, Giles, I'm hoping you can hear me now. The sanctions that are now being imposed on the Russian oligarchs, would you say that they are now shaken?
Well, we've seen a few oligarchs, a few very wealthy Russians coming out in public, actually, to come out against this war that's been launched by President Vladimir Putin. We're also seeing the effects of these economic sanctions really trickling down to ordinary Russians. Over the last few days, we've seen many of them queuing up at ATMs outside banks, trying to get hold of as much cash as they possibly can, and lots of them also trying to get hold of foreign exchange, so US dollars or another foreign currency, in the wake of the Russian ruble absolutely plunging in the wake of these economic sanctions. I mean, when markets opened on Monday, we saw the Russian ruble plunging by as much as 30% up against the US dollar.
Now, the opposition in Russia, we've seen they're calling for citizens of the country to stage protests. And of course, they say that this is against the conflict. How has the response been?
Yeah, we've had a significant intervention from Alexei Navalny, who of course is this very well-known opposition figure. He is now calling for there to be daily protests, not just here in Russia, in Belarus, and also around the world against this invasion of Ukraine launched by President Vladimir Putin. Of course, over the weekend we had some pretty significant protests breaking out. Independent monitoring groups saying that more than 2,000 people were detained by Russian police over the course of that single day, just on Sunday. It's been relatively quiet here in the Russian capital over the course of the working week, but after that call from Alexei Navalny, after other opposition figures talking about protests, I think we are looking at a very real possibility that we could see major protests again breaking out over the course of this weekend here in Russia.
All right, so Giles, we'll leave it there for now. Thank you so much for that update from Moscow. Of course, Giles Gibson there.